What's up, everybody? Corvette fan here on a beautiful day here in Maryland. It is absolutely gorgeous. If only winter could be like this. But anyway, wanted to do a video because I got a bunch of modifications on the Corvette over the past couple years since I've got the Vette, and I have different videos where all the modifications are kind of broken down. And I got a stereo video, I got one on the cam, and I got one over here, an exhaust clip here and there. And over time, the Corvette has changed. The Vette has changed over the years, obviously from a sound perspective on the interior from a stereo, but also from the exhaust and performance. The car has changed a lot since I got it. So I figured I would give you the background story on the Vette from basically the very beginning since I've had the car. So I got the car basically 3 years ago. Actually, I think it was 3 years ago last month, maybe 2 months ago. So I got it in September 3 years ago. Car came with 16,000 miles on it, and it was absolutely bone stock except for a Billy Boat bullet exhaust system. And I had 16,000 miles on it, basically in mint condition. It really didn't have any problems with it at all, no defects, nothing I needed to get repaired. It was a Z51 manual, and basically what you see is what you get. It's black on black with the chrome wheels, and it's exactly the way I wanted it. I needed a manual. I wanted to get the fully loaded version. I wanted to get the 4LT, and at that time in the price range was the LS2 motor. So the year, for my year, this is the LS2 motor, Z51, pretty much fully loaded at the time. So I picked this up, and you know, I said to myself, I'm not going to do any modifications, I'm not going to change anything. Who needs more than 400 horsepower, right? Who needs this, who needs that? Well, as any other Corvette owner or Camaro owner or Mustang owner or any other car guy will tell you, it's never enough. You get used to it. So here I am 3 years later, and the car's definitely a lot different, both inside and out, and I figured I'd take you around for a tour and show you guys some of the changes that I've made over the past 3 years to make the Corvette what it is today. So first thing I'll start off with was, well, the first modification that I made is an easy one. It was actually the windows. So I had the windows tinted, did 20%. So here in Maryland, where I live, the legal tint is, I believe, 30 or 35%, which is horrible. I mean, it basically doesn't even look like the windows are tinted, especially you know, on a sports car when you have a really large front window. Depending on where you're looking at, it doesn't even look tinted. So I went with 20%. I mean, I remember back in the day I went with 5%, but I really need to see. So I went with 20%. I think it looks good on the Corvette. Especially with the black color, makes it look good. So that was the first modification that I did. Second modification that I did was the stereo. So here is a little bit on the stereo as far as the changes that I've made. So the first thing that I did was upgrade pretty much everything. I'm a little bit of an audiophile. I definitely like good stereos. I like good sounding audio. So when I got in this car and I turned the stereo on, I knew that was probably going to be one of the first things that I changed, because that Bose system that they put in here is complete junk. I mean, it is absolutely junk. The speakers that I took out of here, I mean, they're like made out of paper. It's pathetic. And the sound quality was horrible, and the only modification on this car was the Billy Boat exhaust system, and even that, driving and revving the car up, you could barely hear the music. It was really bad. So I know that there's some people out there that'll say, well, you don't need a good stereo when you have a good sounding car, let the engine be your music and all that good stuff, and I hear you and I respect that, but I am a little bit of an audiophile. I love my music. I listen to all sorts of music, and when I'm driving and it's just me in the car, there's nothing better than a nice loud stereo with some kick and bass and some great sound. So so here's what I put in here in case anybody's interested in upgrading a stereo for their C6 Corvette. So the first thing that I did was I upgraded the head unit, And the head unit I got here was the Kenwood DDX 8901 HD. So this is not the navigation version. I mean, navigation would have been nice, but I think it was like an extra $800, $900 for the nav, and at the time I just didn't feel that it was worth it. I mean, if I need to figure out where I'm going, I got my smartphone, not a big deal. Pull up Google Maps, gets me there every time. So all right, so the head unit was the first thing I upgraded. Then I changed the speakers out, and in the doors here I took out all the speakers, and I got the Focal 165 AS 6 3/4 in the doors here, and then I also got the dome tweeters. Oh, there's a bee, get out of here. And so I got the dome tweeters up there, and then in the back I got the Focal 130 AC 5 1/4 coaxials. So I got that right here, and those sound great. So basically I got the front speakers all swapped out and the back speakers swapped out with the Focal speakers. Then as far as bass, all right, let's lift this up. So I got here the JL Audio CS 112 LG TW3 subwoofer. Now, the reason why I went with this subwoofer was mainly because it was easy. You buy it and it comes in this box. It's self-contained, just like this. It was simple, and I just laid it in there, and I can still put my top on. So one of the things that was really important to me was I wanted to have full functionality of the Vette. One of the things that I absolutely love about this car, and one of the things why I would not get a Z06, is because of this removable top right here. I mean, there is nothing better on a nice hot summer day than to take the top off and drive around. I mean, that experience alone is worth getting a C6 E51 and then just modifying it, because I can take that top off right there, and that top goes right in here on these brackets. So I still have full functionality, as you can see. I mean, look how thin that is. I mean, just to give you some perspective, there's my hand, okay? So that gives you some perspective. I mean, it's basically, you know, not even, you know, just 3/4 of the size of my hand from a depth perspective. So that worked out really well. And the bass is nice. The bass is really nice on that subwoofer. So I would have had to have gone with maybe a custom box and built something up there. I've seen some folks that have custom boxes up there, but for this, it was easy, it was simple, and you know, so I just went with that. I thought it was pretty simple. Then to power everything, I've got the Focal FD 4.350 amp, and that powers the Focal speakers. And then I've got the Rockford Fallskate P300X1, and that is just for the subwoofer. That's the only thing that powers the sub. So I had these put in, had everything professionally installed. Nice, it's tucked away, it's behind the seat. So that way, when the seat comes back, and I put this back like this, you can't even see it. You don't even know it's there. So that's it. So you just put that just like that, and that's it, all tucked away. So that was the first modification. For any of you that are interested in putting a stereo in your C6, and the C6 forum, a lot of guys come on there and they just got their C6 and they're asking, hey, you know, what should I kind of do to upgrade the stereo? Well, that's basically what I did. I didn't do it myself. I had it professionally done. I am not technically savvy with stereo equipment. I really don't want to get in there cutting wires and messing things up, and that's basically what I would do, is probably mess it up. So head unit, door speakers, okay, rear speakers, okay, and then there's the subwoofer. So you can see how deep that is. Very, very narrow. gives me full functionality of the car, and that's what I love about it. All right, so now next modification that I did was actually the guy that installed my stereo actually had this piece right here. So the car comes with, the year that I bought this car, comes with a center console that is this color. It matches this. It's this gray plastic. And it doesn't look good. So the first thing I did was I replaced it with this piece here. And this carbon fiber piece looks really good. I don't know if that's going to come through on the camera, but you know, it's got the leather and the stitching, and I would definitely recommend upgrading this piece. And I had the guy that installed my stereo, I had him actually, so this piece right here actually comes in chrome, this little insert right here, and this here surrounding the stick shift boot is actually chrome, and I had him black this out so it would actually look all the same in black. I think the black looks a lot better with the carbon fiber look. I don't like that chrome look on the inside. Okay, so next modification that I did to the Corvette was the Vararam air intake. So let's check that out. So I'm like, all right, let's get a little extra performance going on here. So I checked out the forums, etc., and there's the Vararam air intake. There she is. All right, so I did that, and I have no idea if I could feel any gains on that or not. So then I bought a Diablo in-tuner, one of those Diablo in-tune tuners, and I plugged that in, and actually I feel like I got some gains out of that. So that was actually kind of interesting. I think that thing was like $300 or $400, and I bought that and I plugged it in, and I feel like I got maybe like 15 or 20 horsepower with that. And then the Vararam, you know, I felt like a difference for the first few weeks, and then I don't know if I got used to it, I don't know what happened, but I didn't feel anything after that. So I got the American racing headers. I was at the Corvettes at Carlisle in Pennsylvania. That was last August, I believe, and they had American Racing there with their own team of installers, and it was awesome. I mean, I've been looking at adding some headers to the Corvette for a while, and they were there. They had all the equipment, they had their own lifts, and they weren't charging anything for the installation. And it took like 2 hours, or I don't even know if it took that long. It was ridiculous. It was like a NASCAR pit crew. They had like 5 guys working on it, and next thing you know, an hour and a half later, I come back walking around and the car's ready to go. So I actually have a video showing that installation, the before and the after, on my channel. So that was pretty cool, and I'll actually put a clip of that right here. Sounds awesome. After the American Racing headers, which I would definitely recommend anybody get American Racing headers or Cooks, because you can't go wrong with any of that stuff. Alright, so then the next modification that I did on the Corvette was actually the brake light upgrade. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm wrong. The very next upgrade I did was this spoiler. So the car did not come with a spoiler. So I actually upgraded to this spoiler, and this is actually a GM product, and it does require that you drill into the car. So I had to drill 4 holes. I had to take the old spoiler off. It was right here, and then I added that. And I think that adds a nice little design feature. I don't know why they all don't come with a spoiler. I think it's a no-brainer, and I think it looks much better when you have a spoiler on it. I just don't know why they even make these without a spoiler. Then the next modification I did were the brake lights. So I did upgrade these brake lights. These are the LED brake lights. I think they add a nice touch to it, and they're definitely a lot brighter. And you know, because the car is slightly aged, although you know you can't really tell the difference between a 2005 C6 and a 2013 or 2010. You can't really tell the difference because they all look the same. So, but I feel like now with cars having LED lights, that was a nice, easy upgrade, and I just swapped that out. That was pretty simple. And then, last but not least, under the hood, which there's nothing really to show you. Oh man, you know what I forgot to mention? The red brake calipers. That was actually one of the very first modifications that I got. The red brake calipers. I totally forgot about that. Huh. Yep, I ended up getting powder coated red brake calipers. Those look great, and I remember getting that done pretty early on in the process. So the ones that came with it were just gray and ugly and didn't have any color whatsoever. So yep, that was definitely a good addition. I'm glad I did that. The red brake calipers. So forgot about that. So in the order of events, that was definitely early on, probably in the first year. I think I got the red brake calipers. I think I probably got that after I tinted the windows. I thought that was a nice added feature look for the car. So then finally, most recently, I just got a Brian Tooley Racing Stage 3 cam installed, new springs, new push rods, and professional dyno tune, and the car is amazing. I mean, I've got, if you watch some of the previous videos on the dyno, to the crank, I got 520 horsepower. So that's a massive increase from the stock 400 horsepower to the crank. To go from 400 to 520 is pretty impressive. I mean, that's like a 30% gain in power, and it is substantial. You can absolutely feel it. So with that cam and the American Racing headers and the Billy Boat exhaust, it's basically straight pipes all the way back. There's really no muffler system to keep it quiet, so it sounds amazing. It breathes great, and the car runs amazing. And you know, to have it all done, Bobby Parks was the guy. So I don't know if you're in Maryland or Virginia or DC or Pennsylvania, or if you're anywhere near Maryland and you want to get some work done on your car, I can tell you right now that he is the man. He does amazing work. I would highly recommend him. So he did a great job on my Vette. I have no problems, no lights, nothing comes on. The car drives almost stock. I mean, when I'm like kind of maneuvering around in a parking lot, you can definitely feel that you got to give it a little bit more gas. But other than that, I mean, when you're driving around, the car is amazing, and it pulls like a freight train. So I got that, and then at the same time I got the Brian Tooley, I got this. Actually, I should park. I'm going to turn. You know what? I'm going to turn the car around. I'll show it to you. All right, so I got the car turned around. So last but not least, the last modification that I did, which was done at the same time that I got the Brian Tooley Stage 3 cam, was this carbon fiber splitter. Now I got this from C7, so if anybody is looking to get a carbon fiber splitter and you're looking for your C6 or even C7 or other Corvettes, this product is great. I absolutely love it. I think it looks great. It turned out great. And so that's basically it. That's the list of modifications. So basically, as soon as I got the car, it was pretty much stock, except for the Billy Boat exhaust system. And then from the Billy Boat exhaust system, from there, I got my windows tinted. I think I actually got the red brake calipers put on right around that time as well. And then from there, I got the entire stereo replaced. I put the carbon fiber center console in. I then went from there, I believe, I got the American Racing headers put on, and then the spoiler and the LED brake lights. And then most recently, I got the Brian Tooley Stage 3 cam, and then of course the carbon fiber splitter. And so that's it. So anybody, feel free to share. And what are you guys doing to your Corvettes? What mods are you doing? What do you think I should do next? I was thinking about changing the air induction system. I'm not going to do a supercharge. I'm not going to pro charge it. I'm not going to do a turbo, but I may change one of those fast LSX intake manifolds. I was thinking about adding one of those. So I've heard some good results, some people adding some extra horsepower through that. But what are you guys doing to your Corvettes? What are you guys doing to your cars? What mods do you think I should do next? The next thing that I will say that I want to do is I want to do side skirts. I want to order the exact same piece from C7 Carbon, which is the same company that I got this from. They actually make a matching carbon fiber side skirt that I can put right down there on the bottom of the Corvette. And I think that'll look awesome. So tell me what you guys think. So that's it. So I hope you guys liked the video. That's kind of a summary of what I've done to the Corvette so far since I've owned it. And if this is your first time on the channel and you like the content, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to make a comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. That chrome wheel should pop up. Go ahead and hit that. And I will see you next time.